Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 19th of July. I'm Gary Pierre.
And I'm Jenny Coy.
You are indeed Jenny Coy, so good to have you here. Thank you for joining in as my co-anchor today.
Pleasure to be here.
So much nicer looking over at you than Philip, but Philip is enjoying the delights of Sydney and good luck to him. Lord knows he deserves a break and he's having one, a long-deserved one, getting away from the cold of Melbourne. It has got cold, hasn't it, Jen?
It's freezing at the moment, Gary.
Very cold, but a little bit of sunshine. Even though it's cold, it's not constant sheets of cold rain, so we can live through that, which is okay. Jen, as is traditional on GPTV every time, we talk a bit about the market, we talk a little bit about our sales, our clearance results. We like to boast when we have reasons to boast.
Nice.
Otherwise, we're very quiet, but we did have a pretty good weekend. The clearance rate in Melbourne was about 60% and we were 70%, so we'll put those towers up and have a little mini fist pump and boast of our good clearance rate. Great day Saturday. Sunday a little bit not as good, but some good results out there, Jim, out and about. Of course, on the weekend you don't have to worry about the sales. You get to relax, although you do have plenty of involvement still in our rentals. For those that don't know Jenny does run our property management division in Inkerman Road, running all of the properties for St Kilda and Caulfield, and of course co-led by Anthony Lee, who is on the other side of the racecourse over at Caulfield. Jen, let's talk a bit about the clearance rate in the weekend. We had some great auctions. Of course, we reviewed some of the properties, so viewers are, I'm sure, interested to know about the block of apartments in Hotham Street, which is this wonderful rooftop garden. I don't know if you ever saw any of the images.
I did indeed.
You might have seen Philip standing up there like an Adonis with his selfie with the city skyline in the background. Very cool property, sold to somebody local. The media have been asking me about this, who bought it, what happened. Anyway, well done to a couple of local developers who've come together, have got some plans to do something wonderful there, and they will. Fantastic. So watch out for that block at Hotham Street, sold for an undisclosed amount last week. Jen, we've had a couple of competitive auctions as well, I don't mind saying. In Mackay Avenue, Glen Huntley. Well done to Jack Slater and Leor, who sold that property for $950,000, well above expectation. And 41 Octavia Street, Jeremy Rosens was strutting his stuff up and down the street there and sold that property for $1,705,000. Congratulations. A number of other sales, but some of them are undisclosed, so we don't really want to go through undisclosed sales because they're boring.
That's it.
Now, I've got you here before we go into some of the properties that we've got coming up this week. I want to talk about the facts and realities of the rental market. You up for that discussion?
Very much so. Good. Very much so, Gary.
Good stuff, Jen. So I'm going to give you some hard-hitting, probing questions. You don't want me to go easy on you on GPTV because I couldn't do that. But want to ask about rentals.
Yes.
Want to ask about rental levels because I got to tell you, I pick up the paper and all I hear about is rentals are going through the roof. Now, as you know, Jen, I watch every rental, every leasing that goes through, how long it was vacant, how much the rent was last time, how much it went up, and I'm not seeing so many increases going through, Jen. So what's going on? What sort of job are you doing? What sort of show are you running here for us?
Absolutely. Well, Gary, perception is reality, isn't it?
Yep.
But certainly we are finding that the market in our particular demographic, so around the St Kilda, South Yarra, Windsor, Paran, that type of area, is actually not as buoyant as what the media are purporting it to be. Now,
I have a meeting with you and Anthony every week. Anthony sits on my left, you sit on my right. You say to me, rents haven't gone up. Gary, what are you talking about? And Anthony says, everything's going well over here. So I'm wondering, what's going on? Has Anthony got it right and you've got it wrong? Or what is happening with our rentals?
Well, what I would actually like to say is we've both got it right.
Yes.
So Anthony is very fortunate to be, I would say, in an area that is on the other side of the racecourse, as you say, whilst we sort of harbour on the bayside side of the racecourse. And we're actually experiencing a lot more vacancy around particularly fewer international students, fewer backpackers, fewer people that we sort of had that were always taking the 1 and 2 bedroom properties, and that sort of seems to be the glut of properties that are hanging around at the moment.
So it really is a tale of two markets, even within Melbourne, even within actually where our office is situated, which is only a few kilometres from each other. But, it's interesting because, I'll get bailed up by a landlord on the weekend at auction saying, look, my rent hasn't gone up for 3 years or 2 years, or I rented my property out less than what it was last time, or my vacancy's been there for a long time. So just to sort of extrapolate the details, and there was an article on the weekend as well,
yes,
which you've got
the
Age. In the Age, which was quite interesting. So what we're seeing and what I'm hearing from you is that areas like St Kilda West, Elwood, South Yarra, Paran, all these rock solid areas that were
Yep.
always the hub of, I guess, Melbourne tourism to a great degree,
Yep.
and working tourists.
Absolutely.
That's kind of where things have come off a bit.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And they've come off because people are moving regional.
Correct.
They're moving to Byron Bay. Good luck to them.
Yeah.
Over there. And they're moving to Queensland. So when you hear about the national rental situation where rents are going up,
Absolutely.
they're taking the tenants from here and they're putting them over there and they're putting the rents up on them. Whereas Anthony, more so in Hughesdale, Carnegie, Malvern East, Oakley, Murrumbina, a bit more suburban,
Yep.
The rentals are being reinforced and increased there. Would that be right?
That's very true. Very
Okay,
true.
so fair enough. So I'll have to let you off the hook on that basis then, because certainly it seems like we are finding that those areas have been very affected. In the and I know that around the racecourse we had one particular block of apartments.
Yep.
Where it was decimated in terms of rental because it was really well set up for international students
Very
going to
much
Monash
so.
University, and of course they just didn't come at all. So
Yep.
they've had some massive vacancies. Let's talk about vacancy rates for a second as well,
Mm-hmm.
because as much as some of that news is a bit glum around what's happened,
Yep.
and that will change, is it already changing?
It is changing.
Yep.
So our days on market has dropped significantly from
Yep.
this time last year.
Yep.
It's down to 26 from 55 days this time last year.
Hang
So
on,
you can-
226.
Sorry, it's down to 26 days on
down to
market.
26, okay,
An average
sorry.
of 26 days on market as opposed to an average of 55 this time
Okay.
last year.
So just to put that in perspective,
Mm-hmm.
so last year, if an owner had a property vacant, they could expect it to sit vacant for 2 months.
Yes, correct.
Now it's 26 days, so it's under a month.
Yes.
That would be the average, and that's mostly that typical profile of St Kilda one-bedroom apartment, or maybe Paran or South Yarra or St Kilda West or Elwood. Would that be right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Right in that
okay.
drop zone. Yep.
Okay, fair enough. And are we seeing that vacancy rate shrinking even now?
We are, Gary.
Yep.
It's actually, even just in the last month, our days on market this time last month were 36. It's now down to 26. So that's 10 days. So we're actually seeing that it is shrinking
Yep.
more and more, which in a traditional winter market, it normally expands.
Yes,
So it's
that's true.
actually played havoc with our traditional market.
So traditionally, talking about tradition now, again, I see every rental, and we had times where most of our stuff was not even vacant a day,
Yep.
or was rented before it even became vacated, and we've set up well for that as well.
Yep.
Some of the things that we've put in place to challenge this,
Yep.
tell us a bit about some of the steps and measures that we've taken as a business to make sure that we could minimise our owners' vacancy periods.
So one of the biggest changes that we've made as an organisation is we're actually videoing every single property.
Okay.
So what that enables the public to do is actually walk through the property without walking through the property.
Yep.
Whereas in the past, people have been, I suppose, required to look at the photos and then make a decision as to whether or not that would be attractive to them. Now we're actually seeing that the video is showing people walk through, and then we are able to get them through if they're interested in a second inspection.
So through our lockdowns and COVID, some of these practices have changed, I
Yes,
suppose.
yep.
You could video whatever you wanted then, but if no one could move because of the law, it didn't matter, I suppose, at that point in time. And it was different in other states. New South Wales, there was still movement of people. In Melbourne, it was really prohibited altogether. You just couldn't move at all. You couldn't go out, but you couldn't move homes. But so I suppose out of adversity comes some creativity and I guess some improvement, and we found that as well. So we're now renting properties a lot quicker. Things are moving a lot more, and I think it's important again for viewers to understand. We're talking about a very specific area that is generated very much by tourists, working tourists, and students to a degree,
Absolutely.
of whom we haven't seen. But that's starting to change now. The rents have been adjusted. Do you think there's going to be some rent increases coming through?
I definitely think we'll start to see, it depends on the style of property, but I do think that as we start to see more of the new builds come out and more of the people modernising their properties, you actually will start to see that return on it will start to grow.
Now we didn't really want 130 new laws in the middle of a pandemic coming through. So I'm not going to pretend there's any love for the government doing that. Having said that, I think tenants have their rights. They should live in a safe and clean and functioning environment. Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, they're not called tenants now, are they?
No, they're
name
called
is
residential renters.
residential renters. But it kind of has forced our owners to lift their act as well,
Yes, yep.
So of all the changes that have come through, what are the most significant ones that are kind of enforcing owners to make sure that tenants can live in better conditions?
So we're seeing a lot of, there's two sides to it. One is called the minimum standards, and the other is actually the gas and compliance and electrical testing that is being done. So we're actually seeing a lot of improvements around properties. So whether it be your switchboard needs to be upgraded to meet current compliance levels, or whether it be making sure your windows have locks on them, there is certainly a change in the way that a property now needs to present itself. So anything that's sort of original and you think, oh, maybe I might be able to get away with, you do have to have these strict compliance measures taken. And yeah, then it'll work out whether it's lettable or not.
Fair enough. Let's talk about what's hot right now. If you had a vacant property that you know you could rent like that, what would it look like?
Any 4-bedroom properties, 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, please send them our way. We have a waiting list of people looking to move into houses, particularly with the second bathroom, but townhouses, anything that's sort of established with a little bit of a yard. What we are finding is people would like that little bit of space. So if you've got a hot property as such, is definitely a townhouse or house.
Courtyards, gardens, balconies, terraces, all of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Well, we've also got, of course, our leasing concierge with Tammy Nadelman, who's placing a lot of people, and our entire leasing team run by Ned, who does a wonderful job. So certainly in terms of the support team we have, there's plenty of that around to make sure our owners have got the best opportunity. And tenants are also well serviced. It's one of the probably few real estate businesses that actually wants to look after and help and service tenants as well. And why shouldn't they be looked after? They're part of the loop and part of the chain, and we need them, and we want great tenants as well. In terms, I've asked you what the easiest was. What's the more challenging ones right now that have taken a bit longer, that are taking longer to rent, that are pulling our damn stats down in terms of days on market? What's the toughest stuff out there at the moment?
The toughest stuff is the 1-bedroom with the catwalk balcony where there's no external area for people to sort of create their own space. And I think that's probably as a result of lockdowns. We're finding that where that market was traditionally, particularly if it's quite original, we're definitely not seeing them move as quickly.
Where have all those people gone? They gone home? Are they sharing places? What's going on with those?
Some of those people have moved to Byron Bay.
Fair enough.
But yes, no, there's definitely that marketplace as such. They've moved out to either share or maybe gone a little bit further down in the suburbs that are sort of 10 to 20 kilometres away from the city.
So come on, Melbourne, let's get our act together. It's one of the world's best city for years and years. It's still in the top 10, and we've had times before where people have drifted off to the cultural wastelands of Queensland, and I shouldn't say that because I think your parents are there, aren't they? But a lot of them come back. A lot of them do come back. So we're expecting Melbourne to have a big kick up and a big resurgence because of all of the terrific things that we are. So that is a very nice summary and wrap. Thank you, Jenny, of the world of property management. If you're wondering what's the vacancy story, what are the rent story, are they all going up? Because some people think that their rent should be going up because they read the paper. Well, depending on what sort of property you have, maybe not quite yet, but I am thinking also, Jen, we're going to see some increases coming through. So if you're a tenant, I'm sorry, you're probably going to expect that. If you're an owner, could be some good news to come with some rent increases in the times to come as things stabilise and our vacancy rate continues to plummet, thankfully. And I think it is plummeting. If you look month on month, it's not just reducing, it's actually plummeting, which is great. Jen, I'd like you to stick around and review some of our upcoming sales for the weekend. Would you mind doing that?
Love to.
Tell us about the team, by the way, the rental property management team. I think we've got some new talent in there. We're growing all the time, and we're looking for some new people as well.
Always looking for new people.
Tell us about them. Tell us about the team at the moment. How are we doing?
Everyone is on fire at the moment. We've actually got a fantastic team. We've found that with the industry changing so much during lockdowns and COVID, there was about a 30% industry exit, particularly from those very senior property managers.
Not from us, thankfully.
No, thankfully. And what we've actually found is we've been able to find people that are very much suit our culture and the way that we work, and they're just really interested in looking after and protecting people's investments and very much looking after the legislation, wanting to make sure that they know what they're doing. And we have been so fortunate to have some great talent join our team recently.
So welcome to our new people. We've got some great new people on board. It's been very exciting. And of course, we think of the veterans of the industry. You know, Harry Lustig, who's been getting towards 30 years with us now, I think. Has he got 30 years?
Actually.
Over 30 years. Sorry, Harry. Over 30 years. Christina Trapler, so many years. Susan Gall for many, many years as well. So we've been blessed to have some very, very long-standing PMs who are doing a great job. So shout out to them as well.
Absolutely.
Jen, before we get into this weekend's auctions, I want to talk about a couple of incredible properties, some special feature properties. One of those is 42 Almond Street, right in the heart of Caulfield South, a great street, Jen. And we're actually in the property now. It's nice and warm in here, isn't it?
It's lovely
Feels
in
pretty
here.
good. I'll go and put the kettle on in a minute for you, Jen. But this is a wonderful property in a great location. This has been very well attended. A lot of people have come to see this home, some that are looking at buying, others just want to see an architectural masterpiece. So 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, parking for 2. Sally Zellman and her team have been very excited about this, and rightly so. Jen, you would know this home because on the corner of Orrong Road and Bealiba Road, this is an iconic 60s home. Got a bit of a history to it because it was owned by a famous punter, so there was still some evidence of some evidence of horses and horse racing, bits etched into some parts of the home. But as for me as a punter, I think I would make a small fortune as a punter if I started with a large one, because I'm not a very successful punter, as you know, Jen. But this is the most incredible home. Firstly, it's a wonderful home just as a home, but also it's been used as an osteopath. So this has got a mixed use opportunity. Beautiful. You can live in it, you can work from it, you could buy it as an investment and maybe rent it out for both. But there has been good interest, good block of land, and a real iconic 60s properties, 268 Orrong Road. We look forward to seeing you there in the heart of Caulfield North in the corner of Bealiba Road. What a fantastic property that is. And I know that Glen and Maureen and Mark Kirkham have been handling that, and it's been keeping them busy. And also, just by the way, the most delightful vendors. So thanks for entrusting us with the sale of your beautiful property where you've been for many years. Jen, it is sensational. Jen, let's get into the auctions of the weekend. We have 19 auctions on Saturday. We are very busy indeed because we're going to be in 10 different suburbs, Jen. So we've got lots going on. Why don't you run through the addresses? I usually do that, and then Philip talks about the property, so we're going to flip it all over.
Lovely.
So I get to do Phil's job. So don't rush back, Phil, because I'm having a lot of fun doing the easy part of the job. Then you do the tough part and tell me about the auctions, the address and the time, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have triple auction action on Saturday at 10:30am. Take us through the properties.
Excellent. So 7 at 18 Chapel Street in St Kilda on Saturday, the 23rd of July at 10:30am.
Yes, it is, Jen. They are all coming up this Saturday morning. This is a wonderful property in a terrific block. Now, this has got the courtyard garden with it, Jen. A beautiful apartment, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, parking space for 1. I know Daniel Mick and Jeremy Roses have been enjoying it. Next, Jen.
2 New Street in Hampton, Gary. This one is also on Saturday at 10:30.
It is. It's part of a triple Saturday auction action at 10:30am. Phil, Mark Kirkham has been busy with this home in a wonderful location in New Street, Hampton, a beautiful beach suburb. This is a very substantial home. Of course, lots of accommodation and certainly beautiful, spacious living areas. Let's keep going.
Fantastic. Then we're off to 7 at 16 Newlyn Street in Caulfield.
We are in Newlyn Street. That one is, Jen. Now, that one's what we call a snap purchase, a 1-bedroom apartment. Noah Briggs has been handling that one. Leo Samuel is the auctioneer, and that's a great opportunity to buy something under $300,000, if you can believe it. Wow. Good value here. Let's move on to our next auction. We are going to be in Paran.
Yes, we are at 12 at 8 to 10 Chomley Street at 11:30 on Saturday.
Yes, Jenny, this is a fantastic apartment right in the heart of Paran. Chomley Street's a wonderful position just near High Street, and this has got a terrific floor plan and parking as well. Just move straight in and enjoy it. Off to our next auction.
In Armadale, yes, which is 7 at 25 Gladstone Avenue.
A fine selection of wonderful apartments. Jen, Gladstone Avenue is a great street, and I know that Aviv Samuel and Noah Briggs have been involved in this one. That one is affordable in the high 4s to low 5s, 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, and parking for 1.
Fantastic.
Move us on.
Then at 12:30 on Saturday, we are at 294 Kooyong Road in Carnegie.
We're in Kooyong Road, Jenny. We are excited about being there. Jack Slater, who is the Carnegie expert, who has had a little bout of COVID himself. It's not a secret, so but he's healthy and well, and looking forward to being at that auction. That is a wonderful 3-bedroom, single-level villa in a hot spot. Move us through.
Yes, so then at 12:30, we're at 4B Miriam Street in Caulfield.
This is indeed a stunning masterpiece, Jen. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, parking for 2 cars in a great spot just off Booran Road, between Booran and Cambrook Road, near Glen Eira College. A absolute architectural masterpiece. Look forward to seeing you there. Keep moving us through, Jenny.
Yeah, so at 1:30, we're at 1A Wimmera Street, Ormond.
Yes, Aviv Samuel brings this to the market together with Noah Briggs. Again, a wonderful 3-bedroom property, single level, very affordable, and we love Ormond, Jen.
That we do, Gary.
Keep
and
going.
Then at 2:30, we're off to 1 at 29 to 31 Jersey Parade in Carnegie.
Yes, you'd love to be one of the Jersey boys or girls, Jen, buying this terrific property. Again, Jack Slater brings this to the market with Dizzy Wong, and I presume that Leo Samuel's doing the auction. I know he wouldn't give it up to anybody in his hood in Carnegie. Look forward to seeing you there.
Fantastic. And at 2:30 again, we are at 1 at 22 Wyuna Road in Caulfield North.
Terrific single level property, this one, Jen, in a great street, not far from the racecourse, close to the park, close to all of Caulfield North's beautiful cafes. This is a terrific 2-bedroom property, 1 bathroom, 1 parking, and very affordable. Through to the late afternoon now.
Yes, 3:30, we're at 802 at 105 Punt Road in Windsor.
Yes, this is next level penthouse living, and I know that this has been a property that we've been very excited about, with a beautiful brochure, beautiful views, an elevated, magnificent apartment, penthouse apartment. Julian Millman, Jacob Kingston and Ben Rothschild have been busy taking people through that home, and I know Philip is excited. He's back on deck on the weekend.
Lovely.
I think he's got 5 or 6 auctions on Saturday and plenty on Sunday. If you want to see something special, come up to Punt Road. But we've got some more action again on Saturday afternoon, Jen.
Absolutely. At 3:30, we're back at Jersey Parade in Carnegie for 6 at 29 to 31 Jersey Parade.
Yeah, we can't leave Jersey Parade, not after just one auction. We've got to have a second one as well. This is a wonderful 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom property with parking. And I know Jack Slater has been here with Dizzy Wang, and they are excited about this property, bring it to the market. And Leo Samuel, who is the Carnegie expert and is all over all things Carnegie, is looking forward to auctioning that one. That brings the curtain down on a busy Saturday, Jen, but we're not finished. No way, no way. We've got 6 auctions on Sunday. Let's go through them.
Fantastic. So at 11:30 on Sunday the 24th of July, we're at 7 at 4 Crimea Street in Caulfield North.
Well, I used to live in this street, Jen, and this is about as affordable an opportunity as you're going to get to live in Caulfield North in an apartment. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, parking. You've got wonderful restaurants. Not L'Amour's any longer because that's moved, but you've got wonderful restaurants at the end of the street there at Crimea Street. You've got, of course, the tram just around the corner, and you've got Caulfield Park. So it's just actually from here, it's just over there, Jen. It's just about, if I had my golf club and I could hit straight, I'd probably just put a driver over the school and we'd be there. Crimea Street, Caulfield. I know Aviv Samuel and Noah Briggs, who are busy men this weekend, handling that one. But that's not all on Sunday at 11:30.
No, at 11:30 again, we're at 121 at 135 Inkerman Street in St Kilda.
Another affordable opportunity, this terrific 2-bedroom apartment with this beautiful courtyard made for partying. And I reckon there will be some partying done there by the owners who are selling it and by the buyers who ultimately go there, and possibly the agents, Michael Jonas, Jeremy Rosens. This is, again, very affordable in that kind of around that $500,000 mark. You don't get much for that. Back to Wyuna Road. Were we here yesterday or Saturday? Well, I think we were. I think we've been in Wyuna Road twice this weekend.
Absolutely, on Saturday. And we are now at 11:30 at 2 at 8 Wyuna Road in Caulfield North.
We're backing it up. Philip Kingston's auction on Sunday. His first of, I think, 3 or 4. Single level comfort in a coveted locale. It is indeed, Jen. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and, of course, plenty of parking there. 2 parking spaces in what I also think is a very affordable opportunity for something as substantial as that. Let's move on.
Absolutely. At 12:30, we're at 2 at 656 Inkerman Road, Caulfield North.
Sunny, solid, spacious, and in the heart of it all, says the brochure, and I think it's a very well written brochure, that one. Good on our copywriter for that. This is an oversized apartment if I've ever seen one, Jen, if there is such a thing. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, parking, and that is a great block, an established block, a small block, but something special coming at you on Sunday afternoon. But we don't stop there because we're keeping on rolling on into the afternoon with Mr. Philip Kingston auctioning this property.
Absolutely. So at 1:30, he is at 2 Bealiba Road in Caulfield South.
Yes, we always say the B streets are the A streets in South Caulfield, whether it's Bakara, Barindi, Bealiba, Bent. This time, Bealiba Road, which arguably is the best street in Caulfield South. And this is a very gracious and magnificent looking home, Jen. Plenty of accommodation, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, parking for 2 cars. Move straight in and enjoy this in arguably Caulfield South's best street. We bring the curtain down on the afternoon in Glen Eira Road.
Yes, at 2:30, we are at 370 Glen Eira Road, Caulfield.
We sure are, and of course, if you cross the road, you're in Caulfield North, a great location. Just meander on down and go and see Hassan at the Milk Bar opposite Lemia Road. He's a great guy. They've got all sorts of delicacies. It's like one of those old-fashioned milk bars, delis with everything in it. But that's just one of the features of the home. I live about 10 doors away from here, just far enough to not hear the parties, but close enough to know that you've got good neighbours. Jen, this is 4 bedrooms, 3 bathroom, parking for 3 cars, and this brings the curtains down on a busy winter weekend. And that's a big wrap on GPTV. Jen, thank you so much for coming on board.
Pleasure.
It's good to have you here. I'm going to have myself a little break, so you'll get Philip back next week. No doubt giving me a hard time. I feel like I've been very gentle on him this week while he's been away. Way too gentle. I've got to start planning my more, I've got to be a bit more sort of, I don't know, a bit more teasing, not nasty or spiteful, but just, stir him up a little bit more. I've let him get off very, very light. No doubt he won't be doing the same to me next week. But
Absolutely.
We are here to bring you all of the real estate news. Thank you, Jenny, for giving us a property management update. It's wonderful to have you here. And thank you. How many years have you been with us for now?
17 years. 17 years young.
Is that right? 17 years. Wow. Well, we've got our 10-year our 10-year veterans event coming up soon. I think there's about 25 people now have been here for 10 years plus. So we make sure. Now the key is if you want to retain people for a long time, you get them drunk at the start when they come in. You take photos and then you keep them on file and you say, "Oh, you think of leaving? How about this? Would your parents, your partner like to see this?" Anyway, your photos are safe, Jenny. We're not going to bring those out. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us, and thanks for all the great work you do in running our property management team and department. Thank you to you, and thank you to Anthony. Between the two of you, you've got it under lock and key, which we appreciate. Challenging part of the world of real estate is property management, but we do it well, and no one does it better than you do, Jenny Coy. That's a big wrap on GPTV. I'm Gary Peer. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.